Hey girl, welcome to the Feminine Founder Podcast, where we are all about learning and growing professionally so that we can build a life that we are proud of and really love. My name is Caroline, and I'm a LinkedIn expert, obsessed with teaching female entrepreneurs how to start, grow, and scale their personal brand and business on LinkedIn. This podcast is all about sharing our stories and learning from each other on how to navigate our professional journey so that we can live our best lives. So if you are just starting your entrepreneurial journey, or if you are growing and scaling an epic company, you are in the right place, friend. Today, I want to talk about something that I'm fired up right now about, and that is my favorite S word, which is the word strategy. So if you are deciding to start your personal brand, your business, you want to grow your business, you need a strategy first. So whether it be Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, wherever you want to start showing up, start growing your business and growing your personal brand, you need a strategy first. If you don't have a strategy, it's not going to work. You're going to experience burnout. You're going to start sitting in there looking at the screen and saying, okay, what do I have to say today? And it's not going to work. So if you don't have a strategy, you're not setting yourself up for success. And that's the biggest regret and mistake I made when I started this journey 2 years ago, is I didn't have a strategy. So a couple things that will help you build out a strategy are, number one, you need to be consistent. For me on LinkedIn, that looked like Monday through Friday, 8 a.m., I was showing up on LinkedIn. So for me, anything that you see of mine on LinkedIn is pre-scheduled. Saturday mornings, I typically have the creative juices flowing, and I have the time to sit down for 1 hour and create content scheduled out for the upcoming week. So whatever it looks like for you, I would highly encourage you to do that. Maybe in the mornings when you have silence, no kids, no dogs, no carpool, all the things. Or maybe it's an hour, maybe one evening that you've got some time you can maybe take a break from Netflix and actually create your content. So what happens when you start being consistent online is you train your audience that they start expecting you to show up at that time. So my audience on LinkedIn knows that I'm going to show up every single day, Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. And I use the scheduling tool within LinkedIn to make sure that I stay consistent. Because trust me, there's plenty of days where I do not feel like showing up. Maybe I'm in a bad mood. Maybe I didn't sleep well. Maybe it's raining outside. I don't know. Whatever, fill in the blank. Just know that you're not alone. If there's plenty of days you don't feel like showing up online, I'm here with you too. But being consistent and using that scheduling tool helps me to stay forefront of everyone's mind. That's my audience on LinkedIn. And so being consistent is key. Also being informative and elevating yourself as the go-to professional in your field, which will create you as the expert, what happens then is you supercharge the know, like, trust factor. And so people don't have to, when clients and potential prospects come your way, they don't need to have your elevator spiel of what you do, what you're an expert, who you serve. They already know because they've been following along for a certain amount of time, or maybe they're even new to your network and they already know because you've been building your personal brand. That's one thing I did not do in the beginning of this whole journey is I wasn't clear about that. So get really clear about that. And with the information that you put out there, start elevating yourself as the go-to expert. And even if it's something that you might think is silly or maybe people won't want to hear about, they do. They all want to hear from you. So start showing up. So back to strategy. So being consistent is huge. Giving engagement is huge. So if you want engagement, you need to give engagement. The law of reciprocity exists in a very big way on LinkedIn. Of course, people do not have to come back and comment and engage with your stuff. But the likelihood if you go out and engage with their content is very high. They're going to come back around and engage with your content. So give information, give engagement to other people. What will happen is you'll start building relationships with these people online too. And that can translate into, honestly, a real friendship, a business partnership. Maybe they are connected to someone else in their network that can help you out for referrals or whatnot. So literally the sky is the limit when it comes to that. All right, so we're showing up consistently. We're engaging with other people's content. We are also being consistent with our messaging. So you don't want to be all over the place. with what you're talking about. You want to focus on one topic that you're the expert at. Maybe you're a lawyer and you want to talk about relevant things that are going on in the legal field right now. Maybe you're an accountant and want to talk about tax deadlines. That's all okay. When I first started my LinkedIn journey, I was a headhunter. I had a corporate job and I worked at an agency. And so what I did was I talked about stuff like why you should never accept a counteroffer, the appropriate rounds of interviews based off of level of position, those types of things. And I've gone through 3 pivots on LinkedIn since starting my LinkedIn journey. So don't think you have to have it all figured out, or that maybe you're doing a couple different things. You're an entrepreneur listening to this podcast right now and you've got a couple different things going on. That's totally okay too. So I hope this was helpful. I am really passionate about this topic, about having a strategy. So if you have any questions or want to talk further about this, send me a DM.